Okay, now gliding is just like walking, and there's only a few moves that you do, and you do them over and over. In walking, there's only one move. You step, and you do it over and over and over. And it's the same thing with gliding. So all we're going to do is learn the 6 steps of gliding, and then we're going to repeat them over and over, and I'll teach you some tips and tricks that'll help this look even better. Okay, so we're going to be going to the left, and so to start the glide, what you do is you turn your right foot out and put it up on its toe. 45-degree angle. So if you're doing this from the other side, you should be going like this. So, first step is you turn your foot on its toe 45 degrees. And then you put your weight on this toe here. You should be able to move this foot because all the weight is over here. The number one rule here is at all times, one foot on the toe and one foot is flat. And we got to keep that this whole time. So there we go, we just did step 1. Now, step 2, all the weight goes on the foot that's on the toe, and you slide the foot that's flat out, like that. Alright, let's repeat that. Step 1, turn out 45 degrees, put the weight there, and slide the other foot out. Now, an important tip here, is you want to keep this foot that's sliding flat. This is good, this is not good. See that? This is good, this is not good. You want to slide it flat. So we just did step 1, step 2. Alright, once again, on the toe, flat. Most important, remember that rule the whole time. Okay, so now we switch the toe and the heel. So the foot that's on the toe, it goes flat, and the foot that's flat goes in its toe, but at the same time. So we were here, switch. Alright? Now, what you're going to do is turn your right foot in. So this toe is going to point in this direction as far as you can. Like that. This toe as far in this direction as you can. Alright? And then, all the weight is here. And if you see, toe and the other foot is flat. Alright? So now, the next step is you pull this foot in. The flat foot, you pull it in and you keep the other foot on its toe. Pull. Stop. And now, you switch. Switch the toe and heel. Now congratulations, you've just done the glide. Might have been a little messy your first time, but now let's do it over and over a few times. So, step 1 is turn the foot onto the toe. Step 2, push it out, flat. Step 3, switch. Okay, now step 4, you turn the toe in, and then you pull. Switch. That's it. That's it because this move just keeps repeating. Push, switch, turn, pull. You just keep doing it over and over. Of course, not in steps like that, smoothly, but that's the concept. Alright, so I'm going to do this again and give you some little extra hints and tips here. So you turn this out, and then you push it flat. Switch. Now, the more defined you can make this switch, the better the move will look. Because if you remember, it's a magic trick, so you really have to fool the audience here. Okay, now it's really, really, really important that you turn this toe in as far as you can. This is really important for the illusion, because if you watch, when I don't do that, it looks like this. It looks like I'm dragging my dead leg along. It doesn't look very good. Now, when you do that, by turning it, it becomes much more natural. And we're trying to make the illusion here that we're naturally walking. We're naturally walking like this, but in reality, we're going the opposite direction. That's the illusion. So really make sure that you keep that in mind. Okay, so right, keep in mind the pull. Now once again, the switch, you want to make that toe, you want to make this come up as far as possible. That is what gives you the illusion, because we're telling people there's no way this guy can possibly have all his weight on that toe right there. But you do. And that's where the illusion comes from. If you're gliding like this, I mean, it still looks okay, but it doesn't have the same effect as if you're gliding like this. See what I mean? The only difference there is the amount that you pick up your heel, and that helps with the illusion. Alright, so I'm going to turn around and do this. Make sure that you get out of your chair in front of your computer and do this with me, otherwise it's totally useless. I know it's a little awkward, but it's pretty important. So here we go. We're standing here, turn, weight on the right foot, push, switch, turn, pull, switch. So once again, we redo what we just learned, and then you stop here. Now you just repeat again. This one has 5 steps instead of 6, because to start this move off, you have to do this step. But now we're here, and this is the same as when we started it. The way I like to teach this is to make believe you're going to step on the toes of your foot. But instead of stepping on your toes, you slide the foot out of the way. Right? So we were here, and you slide. Now, you switch, you turn, you pull, you switch. Now you're on to the third one. It's the same thing. You're about to step on your toe, but you slide it out of the way. Now when you do the slide out of the way, don't put this foot down, because now you broke the number 1 rule. Both the feet are flat, and you have no illusion anymore. Alright? It's a magic trick. Once the people see how it's done, it's over. Alright? So here we go. We're going to do 3 in a row. Push, switch, turn, pull. Switch, push, switch, turn, pull. Switch, push, switch, turn, pull. One thing I want to mention about this is you don't really want to practice in socks. I know it's much easier, but what that does is it builds bad habits to make it easy for you to do in socks, and then when you throw on a pair of shoes, it's really, really difficult. So what you want to do is practice in shoes, and what I recommend is using a little bit of cornstarch or baking soda or something, and you just kind of rub it on the bottom of your shoes to make it easier to slide. And that'll help you in the beginning, but eventually you want to practice on wood, you want to practice in the street, because when you go dancing, usually the floor is sticky, or it's just never exactly the way you want it. So if you can learn to glide on any surface, you want to practice on the hardest you can, so when you're actually doing it, it's easy. So I mentioned before that this move looks better the higher you can get up on your toe, but for right now, just do it on the balls of your foot, because it's easier, but eventually, instead of doing it like this, you want to be able to do it on the complete toe of your foot, because then you get this incredible illusion that, you know, he's floating, he's gliding, and that's because you're selling the move that, you know, there's no way all the weight is right there. And the way you do that is you need to strengthen the muscles on the bottom of your foot and your calf muscles. So it's really simple, nothing fancy needed. All you do is you go into your stairs, and then you stand on the stairs, and you slide your feet back so your tippy toes are just on the stairs. Then you do this. Over and over again. Not on the balls of your foot, on the toes. And what that's doing is it's strengthening the muscles underneath your foot and your calf muscles so you can do nice glides. Okay, so we just learned to glide in one direction where we're kind of going like this. Now, it's a little bit limiting in that you can only go one direction. So I'm going to teach you how to go in any direction you want, and that's going to start with the square glide. And going different directions is easy in that the first 5 steps are the same, only the last step is different. So 90% of it is the same. The first step is the same, second step is the same, third step same, fourth step same. It's just this last one that's different. So usually you would pull it to here, switch, and repeat. But this time, we're going to drag it a little bit further, alright? It's kind of like my knees are touching here. That's an indicator. And then, all you do is you switch the toe and the heel. So this foot that's flat is going to go on its toe, and the foot behind is going to go flat. I'll do it real slow, like that. And if you see, that made me turn 90 degrees. So let me do it from the other direction. 1 is the same, step 2 is the same, 3 is the same, 4 is the same. Instead of stopping here, you drag a little bit further, and now the toe that's on the foot that's on its toe is going to go flat, and the foot that's flat is going to go on its heel. Basically, you just switch the toe and the heel, and you let your body just do what it's naturally going to do, and then just turn. until you turn, and now your foot that's flat is facing a different direction. And here we are in step 1. It's just repeating now. Push, switch, turn, pull, switch. Push, switch, turn, pull, switch. Push, switch, turn, pull, switch. If you can see, I'm now going in a square. So we just did the steps, but the most important point here is that the glide is an illusion. It's a magic trick, and to do that, you have to be able to sell it that it's completely natural. Okay, so there's 3 important things here. Your posture, the fluidity of the move, and where you're looking. Because it's a magic trick, you don't want to be looking down because you're saying, hey everybody look, I'm doing something funny with my feet that's making this happen. You want to be able to be totally natural, like, hey, what's going on? I'm just doing my thing. Alright? That's how it's supposed to come off. So, to do that, don't look down at your feet, which means you just got to practice the moves over and over until it comes naturally in your muscle memory. And, besides not looking down, you want to keep a good posture. People don't really walk like this, even if you are looking up. Alright? You want to be upright, so, chest out, well, not really chest out, but your back straight, and just be upright. You don't have to be stiff, just don't be all hunched over. Alright? Upright, have some confidence, and just, hey, I'm floating. Now, I taught this in steps, but as you practice, you want to be able to have these flow together and not do it step by step. Alright? Step 1 goes into the push, into the pull, switch, push, switch, pull. Alright? So you just want this to be able to flow, and the only way to do that is to practice. And lastly, you got to add in the arms. Because when you're walking, you don't really walk like this. There's a natural arm swing in there. And to make this move look natural, we need to add in the arms. When the right foot is coming up on this toe, the left arm is up. And then you switch, 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 switch. Remember that you want to be able to incorporate the arms naturally, opposite the foot that's on the toe. Keep a good posture, eye contact, and get the move so it's fluid. And then you can glide in any direction. Now the glide is a fun move because it's kind of an optical illusion. If people haven't seen it before, that really just their jaw drops because it looks like you're floating, but it's quite different than the moonwalk that they're used to seeing. And so you can apply this concept of the toe and the heel to all different kinds of moves. It's the same concept, just applied over and over. In the moonwalk, it's the same thing. You're putting your toe up, the weight is going up on this toe, then you're sliding this foot back, you're switching, you're sliding it back, switching, sliding it back, switching, sliding it back. It's the same concept as the side glide. Also, there's things you can do like the air walk, which is also using that illusion. What you do is you step like this, and then when you bring the foot back, you come up on your toe. And this looks like you're kind of stepping on air, hence the name airwalk. That's another variation of it. There's this one. Alright, so there you go. Experiment, have fun. You can create your own moves now that you know this effect, how it comes from the toe and the heel. Now it's all about the weight being on your toe. So strengthen them, practice, get it on the toe so it looks really, really clean. Keep a good posture, upright, and have fun with this move.